got a game here from Torsen versus Del Duca Sabado. Dark Elves versus Empire. Should be good. Wait. I just saw that my sister and brother-in-law are getting snow and we aren't, and that's cool. That's fun. I love never having snow. It's fine. It's fine. All right. For the Dark Elves, front line of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, nothing surprising there. Cold One Knights backing them up. A secondary line of Witch Elves, actually 9 infantry is quite a lot. And then we have 2 Skirmish Cav and the Dark Rider Pier crossbows and a Supreme Sorceress of Death with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. Nice. On the other side for the Empire, we have Knights of the Blazing Sun mixed in with Empire Knights, and I thought I saw a Reiksguard. There's a Reiksguard. Demigryph Knights with Halberds, too. Actually, are there any Empire Knights? No, just Knights of the Blazing Sun, Reiksguard, and Demigryph Knights with Halberds. That's insane. Very elite Cav. 2 Hawk and Long Rifles, a bunch of Spears, and then Balthazar Gelt with Final Transmutation, Searing Doom. And go the Knights of the Blazing Sun. Good charge onto Dread Spears. Witch Elves getting shot a lot, too. Just hurting these guys. Hurting the Dark Elves a lot on the charge. Now the Cold One Knights try and get a counter charge. The Hawk and Long Rifles poke them in the face. Decent damage out. Don't brace for impact. Just let it happen. Let the impact consume you. Witch Elves reach the front line, pop their Witch Brew for 24 more melee attack, 50% more damage, but a quick charge in from the Knights of Blazing Sun. Knock them off their rocker, and they will get routing soon? Yeah, they'll get routing soon. So the Empire front line will hold. Meanwhile, more Knights of Blazing Sun. Lances couched, charging with those brilliant, blazing lances. Straight through these guys. Good damage, and the Hawk Long Rifles continue to try and poke down the Golden Knights. Dark Elves taking a lot of damage on the advance. Of their Witch Elves, it looks like only 1 is going to make it to the front line with any amount of HP. We'll see if they can pop their Witch Brew and get into melee as the Dread Spears are kind of clumping up here. I expect to see Balthazar Gelt throw a Searing Doom right on these 3 units, probably. Ooh, he's actually going to chuck it on the Skirmish Cav, which, yeah, takes a decent chunk. Demigryph Knights in the middle of these repeater crossbows, down to about half HP. So the Dark Elves are not having a good time. Supreme Sorceress tries to charge Balthazar Gelt. He is on foot, though, so she runs right past him, and her Spirit Leech is still trying to poke him, but she's just having difficulties. Instead goes for the Hawk Long Rifles, and I can support that decision. Cold One Knights stuck fighting basic Empire Spearmen with Reiksguard running around behind them. The Cold One Knights want out, and they do retreat. So what can the Dark Elves do? Well, their Repeater Crossbow Cav can do good work on the Demigryph Knights, for sure. They still have 1 pocket of infantry that's doing okay, and we do have some Demigryph Knights losing to double Cold One Knight in the distance. Though they are going out with a vengeance, they are still going out. These poor surrounded Demigryph Knights. You are doomed, my friends, doomed. Big Final Transmutation onto the Sorceress of Death is not actually overcast. It's just a regular old Final Transmutation. In comes a Fate of Buna onto the Knights of Blazing Sun. Yes, Knights of Blazing Sun do have 25% spell resistance, but they were already damaged, so that spell should still finish them off. And a follow-up Spirit Leech onto Gelt, too. Damn. Repeater Crossbow for the Dark Elves still firing in. Trying to be tenacious in front of the Hawk and Long Rifles, which need to be shut down. That's the only way the Dark Elves can win this, is shutting down the Hawk and Long Rifles, getting the range advantage, and starting to kite back. They're not able to do that just yet, and those Hawk and Long Rifles are getting good shots in again. 1 Demigryph Knight gets to the edge of the map, but does rally. It's the Golden Knight that defeated it is trying to get back in here, but the Hawk and Long Rifles are shooting him, and Demigryph Knights get in the way, take the charge against the Cold One Knights. And I don't know who will win that, since they're both so depleted, and the Cold Knights still have Murderous Prowess active. But it is going to tax them further, and that means they won't be able to get onto those Hawk and Long Rifles as quickly as they'd like. Dark Rider Pier crossbows get in range to fire at the Hawk and Long Rifles. Get a good 1/5 of their HP chunked off, but then the Hawk and Long Rifles see them, turn, and now they'll deal with them the old-fashioned way. Shooting them to absolute death. As those bullets are whizzing past, knocking down Dark Rider models as they try and run away. Knights of Blazing Sun also charging them down. Oh, the poor Dark Riders. Speaking of the poor Dark Riders, they actually turn to fight the Knights of Blazing Sun as the other one is going to fire up over the top, so that'll be good, actually getting rid of those guys. The last of the Velociraptor Knights charging through the Hawk and Long Rifles, doing some disruption. Here come the Witch Elves and Bleak Swords. They did eventually break through the front line of the Empire. They are here to do a little bit of damage, as is the Sorceress of Death. The Knights of Blazing Sun and Demigryph Knights Halberds. It looks like they just beat beat some Coldwood Knights. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear anything. They beat some Coldwood Knights and then lost their attack order. So now they're in. Nice sandwich onto the Witch Elves and Coldwood Knights. And Balthazar Gelt's getting pretty low. He's down to half HP. He is foot Gelt. But a big break. Dark Elves are all routing. Another final transmutation on the Supreme Sorceress of Death. Is it overcast? It is, and it does big damage to Balthazar Gelt too, but still worth it, honestly. Follow-up Spirit Leech on him is going to be pretty rough, but the damage on the Supreme Sorceress is quite nice. State troops for the Empire still relatively healthy. We have one Hawkland Long Rifle that is still here and shooting, but it looks like 2 different repeater crossbows are going to try and take them out. Really good damage on those long rifles that now start to retreat. They have a low HP pool though, so taking some damage doesn't take too much percentage off of them in a way. So they're okay. Like 300 damage means less to them leadership wise than 300 damage on something like super wounded. I don't know. This point doesn't make any sense. I think I'm wrong. I'm going to back down. I'm wrong about that. Never mind. Just ignore me. That whole point, fuck it. Ignore that. Both Hawk and Long Rifles are back online. 16 out of 32, 19 out of 32 models left. Firing back at the Dark Rider Peter crossbows, who are getting very low. The Deathcaster's at 900 HP. Gelt is at 800. If Gelt can get in range for another final transmutation overcast, he'll kill the Supreme Sorceress of Dark, but she would be in range for Spirit Leech, and I think she needs 2 Spirit Leeches to kill Gelt. She can overcast 1 for extra range, but that is incredibly risky. Hawkland Long Rifles did defeat 1 repeater crossbow, pushed it away. The other one is a little healthier, so it was able to withstand the punishment. Almost routs another Hawkland Long Rifle, but not quite able to just yet. And the Spirit Leech caster comes back into range. Gelt gets hit with the Spirit Leech, doesn't have a final transmutation to counter. The Hawkland Long Rifle is trying to punish her as she runs away. Spirit Leech is down to 2, down to 1. And Gelt is routing. Long Rifles get a couple pokes onto the Supreme Sorceress of Death. As the skirmish continues, the Empire State troops doing their best. Knights of the Blazing Sun do manage to catch some repeater crossbows, some relatively healthy repeater crossbows. This is a big mistake from the Dark Elves. They can't allow this to happen, but it has happened. And now we'll see how much damage their repeater crossbows take before they realize they have to save these guys. The other repeater crossbows are coming over to get a shot on the back, because if they can get the Knights of the Blazing Sun dead, Dark Elves will have complete cav superiority. And then if you kill also the Hawkland Long Rifles, you could just skirmish forever, but I don't know. There's still 2 Hawkland Long Rifles here, guys. As they now shoot at Witch Elves on their way in. Supreme Sorcerer's Death is coming back. She has a finite space to go. Where's she going? Overcast Spirit Leech, super risky, but she gets lucky. Doesn't take any overcast damage and does kill Gelt. So a big win for the Dark Elves there, but it was extremely risky to pull off. One of the Hawk and Long Rifles, one of the Demigryph Knights are going to rout just because their Lord is dead, so there they go. They also lost the Spearman. Another Hawk and Long Rifle is thinking about routing, but he just took out the Witch Elf. Knights of Blazing Sun still trying to run down one of the Dark Rider Peter crossbows. It retreats to the trees to get away from the Long Rifles, who are still providing a little bit of that Overwatch support. Knights of Blazing Sun only kept in this by charging leadership buff. Down to 6 now that the charging is worn off. And the Deathcaster is coming over to do something about something. As Blazing Sun do route from the Dark Rider Peter crossbows. Hawk and Long Rifles need to stay online. They're the only things that can stop the Repeater crossbows from winning this game. Bounce power is about 50-50. As a sandwich of Imperial State troops will stop the Dread Spears. The Hawkland Long Rifle should be safe from that. But I see the Sorceress of Death creeping around. She's trying to dodge. Still gets nicked occasionally by those shots coming in. The other Hawk and Long Rifle has 5 leadership. It actually should be coming back any second now. And she's taking about 100 HP from these incoming volleys. Ooh! Dread Spears got force pathed through. They got past all the state troops, did shut down the Hawk and Long Rifles. Now these other long rifles are back. Can they turn and do anything about it? The Sorceress is running in. 600 HP. She was dodging. I don't think she knows that this has come back yet, though. So she is going to take a whole bunch of bullets to the face. Then she starts to dodge, but she already took 250 HP when she doesn't have that kind of HP to give. And now this is very concerning because when she routes, the player cannot control her. You can't keep dodging when you're routed because your AI is going to take over and just run in a straight line. So the Hawk and Long Rifles should get a ton of damage out onto her. Down to 97 HP, still in range of the Long Rifles, but the nearby Dread Spears get the Hawk and Long Rifles to rout. They're not able to finish the Sorceress of Death. And she might just rally at 97 HP. Elven leadership is a hell of a drug. Now we still have all 3 Dark Rider Peter crossbows of various health states, but enough ammo to finish the job. If the Hawk and Long Rifles don't come back, this is an easy win for the Dark Elves because they can just kite and shoot the rest of the Empire State troops. If the Sorceress of Death doesn't rally, we will lose some of these repeater crossbows just to leadership loss. But it looks like if she rallies, she should honestly just stay in the trees and get her vigor back so she can have a little extra leadership. There she goes. She's rallied. Stay in the trees. Get your vigor back. As the Dark Riders can finish this game up. It's a very close game. I don't mean to diminish it, but I am going to hit fast forward because I suspect we're just going to have kiting. She's safe. She is fine. State troops are waddling. Balance Power says the Empire's got this. I say, no. No, they don't. So repeater crossbows keep dealing damage. You shouldn't be moving. Just keep your vigor. Dark Riders firing on the spearmen. Some of the spearmen are trying to hide in the trees. Doesn't matter. The leadership's too low. Kiting, kiting, kiting. Fade of... Ooh, that's a Fate of Bune on the swordsman. I get it. It's a good target at this point in the game. Just funny that a Fate of Bune on a swordsman would win the game. GG's. Good win, lads. Good win. Golden Knights did okay. Witch Elves did okay. Skirmish Cav did okay. Very spread out value for this Dark Elf build. Everybody kind of got a little bit. Foot Gelt definitely paid for himself. Hockland Long Rifles did great. Reichsguard tried their best. Knights of Blazing Sun did alright. Democrat Knights did alright. GG. Rawr. Subscribe, yes, yes.